Happy summer! This is Paducah Life Magazine Associate Editor J.T. Crawford and professional amateur summer backyard griller. And I want to share with you a recipe that I came up with a few years ago that hopefully you'll enjoy. It's called Bourbon Cherry Grilled Pound Cake. Something you may want to add to your repertoire if you love to grill. Whether it's burgers and steaks or vegetables or whatever, you know that it's also a lot of work. And one of the great rewards for me at the end of grilling a meal is to sit down with this dessert with a good bourbon and enjoy the rest of your evening, because believe me, if you've been out there sweating over the grill, you've earned it. So, apologies up front, I don't do a lot of measuring when I cook. It frustrates a lot of people when they ask for recipes. But in this video, you'll see I have made enough for 3 desserts, and hopefully visually maybe you'll get a little bit of an idea of what you'll need. I started with about a little under a pound of cherries. You're going to want to pit those, cut those in half, and then I create an aluminum foil bowl. It's not easy to say, is it? Aluminum foil bowl out of 2 layers of aluminum foil, and use heavy duty foil, and that's what I am going to cook the cherries in on the grill. And I added about 1/3 cup of brown sugar to the top. To that, you're going to want to add your bourbon. Any bourbon will do. I had some Evan Williams bottled in bond. Oops, kind of ran out at the end of that bottle there. Let me go to the pandemic stash and get a little bit more. Didn't really measure it, but you're gonna have enough really just to kind of boil the cherries and the sugar, because that's going to cook on the grill and reduce down into a little bit of a syrup. So another thing that I like to do when I grill, and I use lump charcoal. I have a Weber grill with I use lump charcoal, and I like to use damp hickory chips when I cook. Now the damp hickory chips are just hickory chips that I've soaked in water for a little while. Just before I'm about to add something to the grill, I will add those hickory chips. Now they're going to warm up and they are going to catch on fire, obviously. As soon as they do, I will add my cherries to the grill, and using the lid and some air control, kind of get that fire out on the hickory chips. And they are going to create a smoke inside the grill that is going to add flavor. Now you're going to get a really great grill flavor whether you do this or not, but I always love adding that layer of a hickory smoke to anything that I do, including the cherries and grilled pound cake. Gonna put that lid on for a little while, kind of control the airflow a little bit. It's dampened down, and let those cherries cook and reduce down. Now you see right there, that white smoke coming out of that grill, that right there says to me flavor. That is just one of the most beautiful sights when it comes to grilling, is to see that flavor being applied to the food on the grill. Now the cherries are boiling, the sauce is boiling, it's reducing down, the cherries are getting a little softer. You're going to want to let that cook until it's reduced down pretty good, and the syrup starts to get a little thick. It's not going to get real syrupy. You could cook it down until it does. It's really all according to taste. But just let those sit on the grill for a while and let them cook away. Now for the pound cake, I don't make homemade pound cake. I'm just perfectly happy with the grocery store Sara Lee pound cake. Anything that says all butter on it is not going to be bad for grilling. The great thing about grilling pound cake is that it has, obviously sugar and butter in it. Those things are wonderful to be applied to high heat, because they caramelize, and on the outside of that pound cake you're going to get this beautiful tasty crust that just can't be beat. Now this is where my amateur side of grilling comes in. I do use a little bit of a non-stick spray, butter flavored spray on the outside of the pound cake to help it, to keep it from sticking a little bit, but it is difficult. It does want to stick to the grill some, so just be gentle with it there. And it does cook very quick. It doesn't take long for you to get some great grill marks and crust on either side. So just be right there with it and monitor it. I kind of just ease the pound cake off the grates. So once the cherries have cooked down, remove the cherries, remove the pound cake, and I use a little bit of ice cream with this. Yes, it's Cherry Garcia. That has really nothing to do with my musical tastes. However, it does make me extremely very happy. It's obviously cherry ice cream, which is going to go great with the dessert, but it has a little bit of chocolate in it, so you're going to add that layer to your cherry reduction dessert. So you take the grilled pound cake, top it with the cherries, use a little bit of that bourbon brown sugar syrup, pour it over the top, kind of let it soak into that pound cake, top with your ice cream, and sit back on your patio or your deck and enjoy. It's sweet, it's bourbony, it's great with the ice cream that adds a little bit of cream and chocolate to it. It's just something that can't be beat.